guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to treat headings and paragraphs. We are going to insert headings and paragraphs in our HTML document. So without wasting much time, let's get right into it. So the first thing to do is to call your HTML document structure as usual. So what are headings? HTML headings are subtitles or titles that you want to display on your web page. HTML headings are defined with a start tag and a close tag. So what are these headings at all? So let's actually practice on them. We have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, up to heading 6. And these are arranged in their font sizes. So as we practice on them, you can see that heading 2's font size is different from heading 1's. So let's practice on this heading and learn how to insert them. So I have my body here. Let's say I have a lot of things going on here in my body. So I've got a certain page and want to add a heading to my page. So I'll just go by typing or pressing H. Then if you're using a text code, you can see this emits abbreviations. It will just give you the clues or to what you actually want to call or to initiate. So here, as I typed H, it gives me a lot of emit abbreviations like H1, H2, H3, H4 to H6. So what are these things? Let's get into them and see what they actually do. So I'll type H1 as I typed, and then I have my image abbreviation, so I'll just press enter and then I'm good to go. We'll go to heading 2, type and heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, right? Heading 5, sorry, 5, okay, and then last 6. So let's put some content in between the tags so that we actually know what's going on in our web page. So it'll be heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 3, sorry for that mistake, heading 3, and heading 4, yeah, heading 4, so heading 6, heading 5, and last heading 6. Okay, we are set. So let's save this and see what we get in our web page. So save and refresh. So you can see, as you can see, heading 1 is the biggest, then heading 2, then heading 3, then heading 4, heading 5, and heading 6 with the least or the smallest font size. So as you can see, as the numbers increase, the font size also decreases. So this is actually what headings are all about. So you will choose what heading type you want to use. Maybe I want a huge heading, so okay, fine, let me go for heading 1. Okay, I want something kind of small, but not too big. So let me go for heading 2. So it all depends on what you want to do. So this is how we insert headings in our HTML document. Actually, any browser has its own default font sizes for headings, but then you might want to change this. How do you go about it? This is where the style comes in. We are going to treat styling specifically, but let's see what it adds to our tutorial for today. So maybe I want to change. I would love to use H1, but H1 is small for me. I want it to be much bigger. So I'll use the style attributes inside the opening tag of the heading I've chose. So I'm going with heading 1. So I'm going to insert style. I'm going to type style in the opening tag of the heading element. So as you can see, this is the H1. Inside the opening tag, there is I've inserted a style attribute to actually change the font size of the heading I'm using. So as you can see, I'm going for font size. So okay, let's go font size. So as you can see, font size. Okay, fine, I want to make it bigger, so I'll go for something like 30 pixel. I'll refresh, and 30 is small, so let's take 50. Refresh, and you can see it's big now. Okay, let me make it something something bigger, so that you can see. Which you can see, you see the heading, it's the head 1 is more bigger than the as compared to the default font size. So here I decided to add a style and increase the font size of the heading 1 from its initial or default font size to my preferable font size, which is 80 pixel. So this is where the style comes in, and this is its relevancy. So we are going to treat styling specifically. So if you don't understand what I did here, or just don't worry, we are going to treat styling specifically. So this is what style actually adds to our heading. So that's all for heading. So the next is paragraph. Okay, so what are paragraphs in HTML? A paragraph always starts on a new line, and usually a block of text. So paragraph in anything we do, if we are writing essay, you there's something we call paragraph, and it's actually, paragraph always starts in a new line. So that's also applies to HTML, and it's the same. A paragraph will always start in a new line. So let's practice and learn how to insert paragraphing or paragraphs in our HTML element. Remember that any text without any element or attribute, a browser would take it as a paragraph. Don't worry, I'm going to practice it so that you understand what I actually said. So let's go to paragraph. So paragraph, what is its element? So whenever you see P, with an opening tag and a close tag, it's all about paragraphing. So I have my opening tag and my close tag. So all I have to do is just type anything in between these tags, and I'll get my paragraph. So, but then if I decide not to bring these elements and write anything at all, the browser will consider this as a paragraph, even though it doesn't have this paragraph element, though it doesn't have it, but then the browser will automatically read it as a paragraph. So it's always safe to bring paragraph elements. So it's always advisable to introduce the paragraph elements whenever you want to introduce a paragraph. So let's practice these examples, and then we are done for the tutorial. So this P stands, or this is the actual element for paragraph. So let's type something in. Let's say open. Let me arrange it for. Let's say let's write this. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. I'll save it and refresh. And if let's clean this because we don't need it. We are done with it. So let's refresh. As you can see, this is a paragraph. So this is a paragraph, a normal paragraph in our web browser. So this is how to introduce a paragraph in our HTML. So that is it. So note that a browser will automatically remove any extra spaces or lines when the page is displayed. So I can say, okay, fine, I want to let's do something here and see how the browser actually works. Okay, so in the normal sense, I have this opening tag for this opening tag for paragraph and the close tag for paragraph. But then in my code editor, I break the line myself and then wrote the paragraph in the next line. So what will you expect? You expect that the browser will also display my coding just as I've arranged it here. But then the browser doesn't work like that. It will automatically remove these spaces and make it one paragraph. So let's save this and run it. I've saved it and let's run it. As you can see, we still have this is a paragraph, which is totally different when you come into the text or the code editor. The browser should have displayed my coding, or this is a paragraph this way, that in like this format. It should have displayed it in this format, but because the browser doesn't work in that way, it removed the blank spaces I introduced and made it just one sentence or just one paragraph. So that's how the browser works. Any space you leave in this coding, no matter how many or how huge space you leave, the browser will automatically break them down. It will remove these spaces and just make it one paragraph. That's how the browser also works. Okay, so that's paragraph for you. So let's go to another interesting element. It's actually comes in handy when you want to separate through contents in your web page. So what is this element? It is the HTML horizontal rules. What are they? The HTML horizontal rules defines the thematic break in HTML page. It is displayed as a horizontal rule. So what is this thing I'm talking about that you don't understand? Don't worry, let's practice it and then you surely understand. So let's get going. So what is HTML horizontal rules? So let's practice this. And the element is HR. This is what we call, this is what we meant, or why is this is what we meant HTML horizontal rule. This is its element. So let's get going. So let's do a little bit of coding here and insert this horizontal rule, and you understand, you see how it works. So let's write something small here. So h1 is okay. This is actually a heading, yeah, and paragraph. This is a paragraph. Yeah. So I'll go to another content. This is my first content. So let me clean this paragraph for the meantime. So this is we are on our HTML horizontal rule, and we are practicing. We are showing how it works. So I first type this here as my first content. So let's go to the other content. Okay, so I have my second content, H2, which is this is another, this is another heading, and then paragraph. This is another paragraph. Okay, so let's save this and run it now. So as you can see, I have, this is a heading H1, this is a paragraph as a normal paragraph, this is another heading as H2, and this is another paragraph as a normal paragraph. But here, this is the situation. I want to separate this content, this heading 1 and paragraph, from this heading 2 and this paragraph. I want to make something to separate them. So this is where I'm going to introduce a horizontal rule. So I'll say, okay, fine, I want to apply a horizontal rule here. So there you go, HR, and refresh. When I refresh, you can see I'll get a line separating the first content from the second content. So the first content from the second content. So let me bring another horizontal row here, HR, then refresh. So immediately I refresh, I will see another horizontal row under the second content. So these are just horizontal rule, like horizontal lines that actually separate contents in web pages. So it will just give you a horizontal rule that will separate a content from another content. So this is what we call, or this is what we meant by HTML horizontal rules. Okay, hope you understood. So let's go to HTML line break. What is this? Okay, so we don't need this anymore. So let's clean it and come to HTML line breaks. The HTML line break, which is BR into opening and close tag elements, defines a line break. Use line break if you want a line break, which is a new line, without starting a new paragraph. So if you want to start a new line without any paragraph, this is where we use the BR element, the line break. I know if you followed through from my first video, you can see, you notify that we've actually done something or a little bit, or we've touched on line break in our previous videos, but then today we are going to treat it very well for you understand. So let's say I have a lot or a long content, but then I want a new line for some of my content. So I don't want to introduce a paragraph. So how do I do it? So this is where I add the BR element, the line break. So for example, I will say, okay, fine, I have my contents here, and my contents is in a paragraph. Like this is a paragraph with a line break. This is a paragraph with a line break. So let's refresh this and run it. When you run it, you can see it's just one long sentence in one paragraph. But then I want a paragraph to come to this my paragraph to come to the next line. Then I also want with a line break to come to the next line. But then I don't want to introduce a paragraph, because when I even introduce a paragraph, the browser will automatically clear those spaces and just bring it to the same format. But I want it in a different format. I want it to be I want a paragraph in another line, and then with a line break in another line. So how do I go by this? This is where I have to use line break. So let's use line break and see how they actually appear. So this is where I'll add. So I'll check where I want to start a new line, or I'll check what I want it as a new line. So I want a paragraph to start a new line. So I'll come here, then add the BR element to it, then refresh. Immediately I refresh, you can see a paragraph with line break comes down. This is as a new line. It starts a new line for me. So I want a line break to start a new line too, without any paragraph. So I also go there, then in front of it I'll add my BL, the line break, refresh, and you can see a line break comes to another line and starts a line without any paragraph or any paragraph element. So within this element, or within this element, and within this in my content, I've able to separate my subject or my contents into three, with each starting with a new line. So if I added paragraph, the browser would have cleanse or remove these lines and then rendered it into the same format as we started. But if you want it to be you want to separate content and then to start them with new lines, it is advisable to always use line break. Paragraph will not work for you because the browser will automatically clean or remove these empty spaces and just render it a simple or just one paragraph. But if you want a lot of them in different lines, this is where the line break comes in. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this tutorial.